Hi everyone, my name is Liz and I've been thinking about creating content for social media for a while, and today is just my birthday and I just decided I would go ahead and make my first video. So it's not going to be perfect, but hopefully it doesn't go that bad. So my first thing I want to talk about so I'm going to be explaining things like in a more easier way for people to understand some concepts or things that are not very clear. And the first I'm going to start with is like explaining how lenders decide whether they're going to lend you money or not. And they basically take two things in consideration. The first one is they evaluate if you want to pay, if you're willing to pay. And the second one is if you are able to pay. So both things must meet so that you can get a loan, like a mortgage loan for a house. So if you don't meet any of these two, at least the largest companies in the United States, such as Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, they're not going to be willing to give you a loan. So in order for them to figure out if you're a person who is willing to pay, because we all know that there's people who has money but they don't want to pay their debt. As well, there's people who they want to pay their debt, they like to pay their debt, but they don't have money, right? So in order for lenders to decide whether you're a person who is willing and wants to pay their debt, they take a look at your credit score. If this is the best way to evaluate if you want to pay or not, this is another discussion. I understand there are circumstances that doesn't reflect your desire or your willingness to pay, but that's the only way that they can figure out somehow, because they don't know you, right? So they take a look at the credit score, and they take a look at the FICO credit score, the one that you're able to see on your apps, on your phone, or online. That it's another system, which is Vantage. They take another criteria to evaluate your credit score, and that's another thing. But so the one that official lenders take is FICO credit score, and that you can get it just through official institutions, or I'm not sure about the one that you get a year, if that's the real credit score. But anyways, so your credit score could go all the way from 360, which is the lowest, all the way to 850, which is the highest. And that reflects a lot of things. So most lenders, they like to see 600s, 620s in order to feel comfortable with giving you their money, right? There are other institutions who are willing to take a higher risk, right? Because that's what we people represent. When we have lower credit score, we represent to them. So but this, of course, is a higher risk. So their interest rates are higher, are more expensive. But that's another story. So we're going to talk about the regular credit system, the big lenders. So they want to see 600, 620s in order for them to consider giving you a loan. Okay. And the other factor is if you can pay, right? Because even if you want, but you can't, so it's not possible for you to pay. And that's determined by them through the debt to income ratio. The debt to income ratio, it doesn't necessarily mean how much you make, because you could be making 1 million a year, but if you have 999 in debt, I mean, you don't have any leftover money to expend to buy a house. So for the debt to income ratio, what they take in consideration is the household income. If only one person is going to sign for a mortgage, well, they just take that income. But if it's 1, 2, or 3 more people, of course, a house can be purchased by several people at the same time. And then, so they take the whole income, and they have some criteria in which they say, okay, out of that 100% income, you need, and this is an average because depending on if it's a conventional loan or FHA or USDA or VA, whatever, it's different. But like in terms like for this video, we're gonna take an average of 50%. So lenders say out of your 100% income, you can have like 50% of that income has to be used in your, I don't know, groceries, gasoline, like your phone, like your life expenses, right? And max, the 50% of that income can be used for debt. In that, they think that it's like a good ratio in which you're having healthy standards so that you can pay your debt, like financial standards, right? So if, let's say that out of that, let's say that you're making $1,000 a month. That's just an example, of course, to make it easier. So 500 would be destined for your expenses, your life expenses, and 500 max can be destined to debt. Now, if you, out of that 500, you already have 100 in debt because you're paying a car, then you have just 400 left to pay a mortgage. And then that 400, if you have credit cards or if you have child support, student loans, you start reducing that $500, and whatever is left, they're gonna say, okay, so let's say that he or she can pay $100 a month multiplied by 30 years or whatever. I mean, simplistically, right? It's not exactly like that, but 100 multiplied by 30 years or 15 years, depending on how long your credit it's going to be. And then they project the value of the house. So that's how much they're going to lend you. And so it's, yeah, exactly. So 50% approximately for debt. And it's only debt that is going to be in your credit score, right? So basically, and this, I'm going to be making another video because like if you're a W-2, it's out of your gross income, right? But if you're a 1099, that 50% is out of the profit, but that's another story. And so there are ways for you to work on improving your credit score, and I'm going to be making some videos about it. And there are ways to improve your debt to income ratio. So if you're not good at any of both, there are still programs that are willing to work with you, and you can call me or you can send me a message and I can help you with that in order for you to get your house. And by the way, I'm not a loan officer. I sell houses, and this is just a tool for you to understand, because it's always good to have an idea of how much you can how much of a house you can buy before you go outside and buy a house, because otherwise your search is going to be erratic, right? Like you don't even know what your budget is, so you don't even know what price of a house to look for. So if you need any help with that, you can send me a message. I'm going to try to answer them all. And so I hope this video helped you understand a little bit about wanting to pay and willing to pay, credit score, debt to income ratio. Both together, you're good to buy a house. If not, there are ways to improve credit score and improve your debt to income ratio. So I hope you liked this video. I hope it was helpful for you and for any other people that might not understand and they're in the process of buying a house. If that's the case, please share it with them, and please like my video, subscribe. It's my first one, so I would love your support. It's my birthday, and so that will help a lot. Let me know if you need any other type of content that you'd like me to create, and have a great day. See you. Bye-bye.